Not allowed in here. So leave that door alone.
I saw.
I finished hauling the sacks. What now?
Job for you, so you wouldn't be idle. So if you want to pass the time, go ahead, but do it sensibly.
Well, I'd say there's plenty of work to do around here. I'll gladly help you with something.
Aye, but I've only got work in the forge, and that ain't for everyone. I'm a respected tradesman.
I'm a blacksmith too, even if I don't look the part right now.
Oh, really?
Aye. My pa was a blacksmith. A respected one.
Then you might actually be some use to me. At least I wouldn't have to work my... to the forge. The fire's gone cold. I haven't had much time for, well, the trade. So fire it up and make some horseshoes for Kabat. He's our groom. Always bothering me that you don't have shoes for the horses. And there's only one nag stabled here now that his lordship...
Aye.
How many legs does a horse have?
4.
Smart lad. We've got one horse. That's 4 times 1. But Kabat's already... Which is?
1. All right.
You'll find everything you need in the trunk in the forge. It's there, past the gate.
All right. But I was told not to go there.
And now I'm telling you to go. And when it's done, bring it to me to check so you don't make me look bad. Off you go. Lads!
It was nice.
Sakura, what do you want now?
I was told...
Do you know anything about carpentry?
No. Blacksmithing is more my field.
Ah, well, that's handy. I got the job of fixing up this here scaffold, so it don't collapse when we hang that poacher. But the whole thing is fucked. I need a good carpenter's axe. There's one... didn't find time all year to hone the thing. An innocent poacher? But that's nothing to do with me. My job is to make sure it don't collapse when he swings.
I could help you with that.
You could? Well, that'd be great. Go and get it from the shed, sharpen it, and bring it back to me.
Sure thing. All done. Here it is. Hope it's good.
Without your help, the scaffold could well collapse under that poacher. And nobody wants that. Anyway, thanks. I can't afford to fuck things up today. The Chamberlain is as tetchy as the devil. Anna the laundress said he's got bellyache. Everyone is avoiding him like the plague.
Uh-huh. Would you happen to know how I can get into the Maiden?
And what would you want in there?
I want to pray in the chapel, and they don't want to let me in.
The chapel, eh? Well, I'll be damned. I know one hand by the name of Binyek that wanted into the castle too, but for a damn different reason.
In getting in, I mean.
Aye, he did. He climbed down into the well in the courtyard. See, there's caves under Torski, and the well ain't actually a well, but an underground pool in one of them caves. And from there, you can get to the dungeons, and then into the Maiden. Caught him and gave him a whipping. And when they found out how he done it, they took the cleats out of the well wall.
What does that mean?
That the next Binyek would have to jump in and not climb down. I wouldn't fancy that.
Indeed.
A certain buxom chambermaid who wouldn't give him what he was after in the hay and wanted a fine feather bed.
I'll be going.
Aye. Farewell.
It was nice. Good food and drink. Lots of guests. Not enough pretty...
Where is he now? Where's that fool of a blacksmith? Where's that fool of a blacksmith? Like always, he loiters around here all day, and when you need him, he vanishes like the wind.
Merciful God, your only begotten Son, came with fortitude, look down upon our Captain
That
Thomas,
damned wretch!
Father's love, and all who suffer, and heal with pains and other afflictions of sickness. Let them know that they are not alone in their afflictions, but that Christ is forever by their side.
blacksmith.
Just a bit more, and I'll be done. The first
Like
bell.
always, he loiters around
Another
here all
11
day,
to go.
and when you need him, he vanishes like the wind. Crucifix! Where's that blacksmith?
What's the matter, good wife? Why are you standing?
Smith. I'm waiting here for him like for Judgment Day. The lock on my spice chest is stuck, and Sir Otto will be back any time. How am I to bake gingerbread without ginger, eh?
How can the blacksmith help you?
How do you think? And then he promises to change the lock for 3 years now.
Can I help you somehow?
No, unless you can pick a lock. And decent folk don't know how to do that.
Oh, you said the blacksmith knew how to do it, though. So the blacksmith isn't a decent man?
Aye, and he ain't decent. He's a nasty piece of work.
Sure. Let's have a look at that. To deal with locks?
It's in the castle cellars. Follow me. My time is precious, seeing as how his lordship...
I was told to stay in the courtyard.
Never mind that. You're going with me and you're helping me. Come along. What a day. I burnt the roux in the morning, and then the girl told me we're out of venison. I don't know what that gamekeeper's up to again. Actually, I do know, and it ain't nothing good. And now this. 3 years that lock is broken, and 3 years that good-for-nothing has been promising... Stupid cook spanker. Always nagging and won't leave any... If I didn't nag, there'd be nothing done in this sophisticated castle. You have to kick people's asses here to even get them out of bed in the morning.
Light the fire in the main hall.
Christ, here it is, that damn chef. God be with you. Thank you kindly, young man. If you want to get a bite to eat, stop by the kitchen.
You don't?
Sir, I want to ask you something.
You? What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be helping outside in the courtyard? Christ! Ah! First you cause mayhem at a noble wedding, and now you go...
I noticed, sir, that something is troubling you. I could help you.
How could a vagabond like you help me?
Sir, I might not look the part, but I've read a lot.
Don't waste my time with your jokes, you nobody. What would you be able to read?
Sir, looks can deceive. As it happens, I've read many Latin and other texts. For example, the etymologies of Isidore, Hildegard of Bingen, and the Herbarium de Horis Sanitatis, De Materia Medica, and others.
Well, you really surprise me, lad.
Anyway, you and try to make a diagnosis.
Yes, that should help.
Tell me, Master Chamberlain, does it hurt all the time, or does it come in waves?
No, not all the time. More like I get attacks.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's worse when I get upset.
And does it get worse in autumn, when it gets colder?
Yes, it's usually worst in October. Then I don't even have to get upset for it to start.
All right, that makes sense. Advice from anyone about it? Have you tried anything for the pain?
Well, I talked to our surgeon. He just said it was odd and told me nothing more. So I went to Kolin to see Professor Joachim Bavorsky, and he advised... Awkward for me to talk about, I must admit.
Master Chamberlain, I'm here as a practitioner of the medical arts. You can rest assured that whatever you tell me will remain between us.
All right. The professor spoke at length about it. Then he told me that my bodily humours are out of balance.
I would expect so. And what did he recommend?
Well, that I should get more silver into my body. So I wear more silver jewellery, and when there's a full moon, I go to the meadow.
Really? So you're taking it quite seriously. And has it worked?
No, but there'll be a full moon soon, so I could damn well use some other advice.
Tell me, sir, what do you usually eat?
Well, I often eat from the banquet table.
So, a lot of roasted game?
Yes, and pâtés, goose, duck. I dine as befits my status.
I see. I'll examine you, sir.
What? Here and now?
Now, don't worry. Look at you. You don't have to lie down or strip.
I'm glad to hear it.
You're quite pale and rather sweaty.
When it comes upon me, I sweat a lot.
Your eyes are all right. In your ears?
No.
Do your hands shake?
Well, I'm not the youngest, but it's nothing too bad.
All right. Sir, I'm afraid you have a stomach ulcer. If it's not treated, you could even die of it.
Good God! What should I do?
The main thing is fatty or heavy foods. In other words, nothing from the banquet table. You have to eat boiled white meat, poultry or fish, lots of vegetables, and gruel.
Gruel? Like a...
Yes, like the common folk. Under any...
What? I mean, what?
That's the way. Oh, and I'll get you a herbal potion. I know exactly what will do you good.
Can't you get me that potion right now?
I don't have the required I don't have the necessary equipment.
You're free to use the surgeon's apparatus in his study. It's upstairs in the Crone. That's the second tower. Now we're under the Maiden. Do you know how to get there?
I think so. But I was told to... I wouldn't want to get in trouble.
Trouble? I'm the one who has trouble. Don't worry. Tell them I sent you. Just go, for heaven's sake.
All right. I'll go and get something for you.
Good. If you'd be so kind... Oh!
Fanker the cook sent me.
Jesus Christ, God protect us from all evil. What does that harpy want?
She's not able to open...
Again? She's a bloody nuisance.
You're right. She's an awful harpy. But I promise to help her.
So help her if you want. Just don't drag me.
I'll be going then.
That's what.
About that horseshoe.
Well, did you get it done?
Yeah. Here.
Well, what are you standing around here for? I told you to take it to Kabat.
And show it to you.
You're a smart one, eh? Well, now I'm telling you to go to Kabat with it. He's our groom. Most likely he'll be idling by the upper stables. The grouch. Just between the two of us, he's a very unpleasant fella. Unlike me.
I brought you those horseshoes.
Enough. I've only got one horse here and I've got nothing to shoe him with. And you know who gets in the shit over it?
You?
Exactly. Mistakes are punished here, so either I'd end up reduced to beggary, or I'd have to go... And I wouldn't like that.
What did you do before?
You're a bit inquisitive, ain't you?
Well, I get the feeling you're actually proud of it.
Let's just say I haven't always made an honest living. Is that enough for you?
Sure. I wouldn't want to be rude.
Very wise.
I'll be going then.
So run along, and next time, put some effort.
It was nice. Good food and drink.
The second toll for Hans. What if my soul is burdened with sin? Is there a way to cleanse it?
Of course, son. You can redeem yourself with an indulgence, or take the path of repentance and atone for your sins with a pilgrimage. It will improve your reputation with people, but beware. Making a pilgrimage does not the law, nor does it release you from paying a fine. And you, if I'm not mistaken, have a few, similar concerns. Come find me when you have atoned for your worldly sins.
You know where Captain Thomas is? I heard he was in a bad way.
It's true, son. It doesn't look good for him. Why do you ask?
I'd like to pray with him.
A kind thought, but you can't get to Thomas the night up to the chapel in the Maiden.
Why can't I get there?
You know, the castle chapel is an important place. Only Lord von Berghoff, his kin, and a few others are allowed there.
Like you, for instance.
Naturally. Thomas, but you can do that anywhere without having to disturb him.
Why did you take him to the chapel?
The surgeon is away with Lord von Berghoff. Thomas has got considerably worse. I don't like to say it, but there's nothing left but to pray for a miracle.
Uh-huh. I'll be going then.
Go. Good riddance, you vagabond.
If you're after, excuse me. Scrub you up. You'll have to wait. And have to go on duty too. Sound.
Say, I heard some interesting books arrived here from Prague.
Let me stop you right there. Preparations are underway to execute a poacher. I don't have time to worry about a book right now. Stop by once the lad is strung up.
You? What in God's name are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same question.
I work here.
Who are you, actually?
Me? I'm just cleaning here.
And what were you doing at the pond, then?
I thought we straightened that out the last time you bothered me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm Henry.
Well, that's nice for you.
And you are?
I already told you. I'm a maid here.
We both know you're lying. The question is, why?
Says someone who was just sitting in a jail cell and will end up right back there if anyone calls the guards on him.
They let me out. I have to work off my sentence.
Really? Here. And what kind of important work would that be?
Chamberlain sent me. He needs something for his stomach.
That slimy toad? If he doesn't watch out, his stomach will be the least of his worries.
Well, you look like you know your way around here. Maybe you can help me.
Why should I?
I'm not stupid. You've no business here. You're snooping around in the surgeon's stuff, and God knows what else. It could land you in trouble.
Oh, yeah? How?
Well, for instance, I could take something here. Don't forget, I might be slaving here today, but tomorrow they'll get fed up with me and they'll probably kick me out by morning. And you'll still be here. So it'll be on you. For sure someone saw you.
And you too, no?
Well, there's quite a big difference. The guards don't pay much attention to me, but you...
I get it. Sometimes it's an advantage.
And sometimes not. To the point.
All right. If it's medicine you're after, the surgeon has a store across the corridor. There's all sorts of junk there, but there's one chest where he puts stuff that he hasn't used up. He locks it carefully, but you might get lucky.
And what if there's nothing interesting for me?
Have a look at his records. That crackpot writes down everything he does. Maybe he gave someone something that might be of interest to you.
All right. Thanks.
And now get out of my way. Simple maid like me has lots of work to do in this castle.
The third toll. I better get moving. Ah, damn!
scrub you're after. You'll have to wait.
Nice one.
You're not permitted to be here. I said surrender!
All right. You caught me. I surrender.
You can't say you won't. You'll pay up. What are you talking about? What secret?
Look, we're both men, aren't we?
Where are you going with this? You're testing my patience.
It's like this. Yesterday, I met this pretty girl. She makes yarn. Girls who work with spinning wheels.
No? What?
They're really good in bed.
That's a good one.
Well, this yarn spinner, she was very afraid her mother would find out we planned on meeting. So she gives me the... By noon, I stood at the shadow of the tallest linden tree, and step by step, I set out. Then all of a sudden, I look around and realise I have no idea where I am. The girl's nowhere to be seen, and people are yelling at me. That girl made a right fool of me.
That's what you get for thinking with your...
I've had enough embarrassment for one lifetime. Can't we just let this one slide?
All right, then. I'll turn a blind eye, just this once.
See you later, my friend.
Christ almighty. Pain. And don't forget to light the fire in the main hall.
Face quick and get back to work.
Bell's ringing for hands the 5th time.
Scrub you're after. You'll have to wait. All other soldiers of Christ.
Sir, about those health problems of yours.
Yes?
I have exactly what you need, sir. Sir, I'd recommend that you take this digestive potion to settle your stomach. Take it after every meal, and don't forget, and do not get upset.
All right. Thanks, then.
And now you ought to go and lie down, sir.
Lie down? Me? Ha! With the place would grind to a standstill.
Sir, medicine isn't enough. You also need rest. Otherwise my potion won't have much effect.
Oh, all right, then. I'll try it.
And another thing. I don't want to bother you, sir, but
What is it?
I've always wanted to take a look at your chapel. I'm a great admirer of the master who painted the altar there.
Oh, go where you want. I'll inform the guards.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
like?
It was nice. Good.
The sixth bell. Half the time is up.
Everyone to me. You there!
Pardon me for disturbing you, miss.
If you want to pray, go somewhere else. The chapel is closed. Unless... which I presume you're not.
No, I'm not. My name is Henry.
I'm Adela, Thomas's sister. What is it you want, Henry?
I need to talk to your brother.
No chance of that. 3 days. And the surgeon is away with Sir Otto. Unless he returns soon, Thomas...
What actually happened to him?
They were attacked by a pond. His mare, Arrow, brought him home. He was completely out of it. And little wonder, the way he was hacked up. If he'd be in his care. Some of his wounds have healed, but now he has a fever. He's been for 3 days.
I'm sorry. I heard that your brother is lying in a fever, so I brought something for him that might help.
Really? And I was against dragging Thomas to the chapel. I felt it would only burden him.
We ought to administer it to him quickly.
Yes, of course. His fever is getting worse. If this doesn't work, I don't think he'll last long.
I urge you all to be vigilant. These days we have all sorts of vagabonds, drifters, outlaws, and bandits. And we have one of those vermin here today. A fella called Hans, who is clearly not right in the head. A dangerous madman, a brawler, and a thug. A poacher! And so, for the damages he caused to our dear Lord Otto von Berghoff, until dead!
Stop! You can't execute this man. He's a noble. Captain Thomas here will testify that we're messengers from Rattay.
What is this nonsense, for Christ's sake?
It's true. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein.
It, for God's sake.
But sir, the captain!
Captain Thomas has a fever. He's clearly delirious. Seize them immediately.
You can't do this! I am a nobleman, you hear? A noble! Get your hands off me! You can't do this!
Open the gates!
My lord.
What the hell is going on?
It was... it's a hanging.
You can't hang him.
That's for me to judge. Take him down! And for Christ's sake, help me off this horse!
You may enter. His lordship is expecting you.
You're messengers from Rattay, huh? I was wondering when someone would turn up. All right, then. Let's hear it.
I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, and this is Henry of Skalitz, my escort.
Welcome to Trotsky, gentlemen. Greet you standing up as befits, but I'm glad I can even sit at the moment.
I heard you were ambushed by outlaws.
You heard right. Those bastards did a job on me. And I'm luckier than most. Almost all the others were killed, including my page and my surgeon. So there is no one here to heal me, and I will have to inform that his son died in my service.
I hope your health will soon be restored, sir.
We shall see. But now, you tell me what happened here in Herrgottsnamen. Ellen tried to hang you, Lord Capon.
In truth, the welcome we got from your Master Chamberlain was somewhat... how shall I put it?
Sir, we came to... Your Chamberlain had the guards empty excrement on my lord's head and beat him without hearing us out. You were still at the castle then, and if he'd let us see you, maybe you wouldn't have left and wouldn't have been ambushed. And if that wasn't enough, when he... even though not only I told him, but your Captain Thomas too.
I must say you have courage, youngster. But I expect I would also be in such a foul mood if the same had happened to me.
Sir!
Best, Ulrich. We will talk about that another time. And I apologize to you for that. At least it ended better than it might have. Anyway, let us leave this misunderstanding aside and get to the point. As far as I'm aware, Ratai showed no interest in negotiating either with me or with the League of Lords.
True. Our houses have thus far stood on opposite sides.
I should say so. Attacking Brno and Jihlava together hardly inspired our sympathy. But let us leave that aside. Tell me, what does Sir Hanush have on his mind? I am all ears.
Unfortunately, during the ambush, we lost the letter we were carrying, so you'll have to make do with my word of mouth.
All right. Go ahead and speak.
Sir Hanush, Sir Radzig, and other lords take the view that the situation has got out of control. And that's of no benefit to anyone, either Wenceslas's supporters or the League of Lords. King Sigismund's actions will not lead to instilling greater order than under King Wenceslas. Quite the contrary.
Let us say that maybe. What arises from?
The other lords on our side are interested in knowing what the stance of the League of Lords is at this moment, and whether they haven't perhaps reevaluated
whether I might betray Sigismund.
Well, betray is a strong word. We came to you, Sir Otto, because you're the leading voice of the League of Lords. I expect there are also lords among your ranks who are considering situation. And for the Kingdom of Bohemia, it would certainly be better if our paths were to join rather than parting.
Your companion speaks like a diplomat, Sir Hans. However, with water and end up with anything but nasty smoke. Nonetheless, Sir Hanush and Sir Radzig are right. There is disorder and anarchy all over, as we all know, to our cost.
We've had plenty of experience of that at home too, sir. Only a short time ago we had to deal with a similar band.
Then you will surely understand begin debating who would be the better king. I must sweep my own doorstep. Only I'm damned if I know how to do that, since those bastards have wiped out half of my garrison.
May be so bold, sir. You're not the only one. We also have a score to settle with them, so Henry and I will gladly help you.
Is that so? I call the words of a knight, Sir Hans.
Right now, we've got a common enemy. So we have
May we be of assistance to you?
Indeed, you may. Perhaps in the end we may really find some common ground. I need to muster sufficient reserves to deal with those outlaws once and for all. I'm summoning my vassals here to Trosk. Since I don't have many men left to send as messengers, I will gladly accept your help.
Just say the word, sir. Where should we go?
You'll go to Nebakov, a small castle, or fortress among the cliffs. The yeoman there, Jaromir Nebak, is an old hardhead and may not be very willing to fool yourself visited him to explain him clearly why I need his whole garrison.
Who is this?
House with not much in the way of estates, just a fortress and lands, but he also owns a mill that provides a significant part of his income. His child is grown up. His daughter married well, thanks to Sir Otto. His son is away from the domain, dealing with duties. Sir Otto held an official position. In short, the House of Nebak is more than beholden to Sir Otto for his magnanimous help and support.
Thank you, Ulrich. Nevertheless, I suspect Jaromir will not be keen to chat. That is of little consequence. He has a few good men who will be... That will do us. If he delivers, I will regard his obligation as fulfilled.
What should we do if he's unwilling to heed what we say?
His house has always been loyal to mine. More than worth their while. So tell him that I would like it to remain so. I do not expect any great obstacles, but it would be wise to show Sir Jaromir respect. He will take his time over being persuaded, and then concur, as he always has done.
I'll get to him somehow, sir.
I expect nothing less from you.
Is the route safe?
As I said, the fortress is in cliffs. There are many places where outlaws may be hiding, so watch out.
Don't worry, sir. I have Henry here by my side for such situations.
We'll take care of it, sir. Count on us.
All right. We'll head out as soon as possible. Diplomatic mission unnecessarily.
Very well. I think that is all for now. The Chamberlain will show you where you can put your heads down, and he will supply you with horses. And once we have resolved this little digression, we shall talk about your own...
Thank you, sir.
May I ask something, Sir Otto?
Oh. Ask away, young man.
When you... Did you see those bandits? Would you recognize any of them?
Henry, don't start with that again.
Why do you ask?
The thing is, when we were ambushed, I believe I saw among them one of the men we ran up against at home.
What did he look like? Do you know his name?
He's called Istvan Toth, a Hungarian noble. He wears black armor. A stocky fella, around 40.
I've already told you that's nonsense. Distance. From behind. You're imagining it.
And why does this Toth interest you, young man?
He was the leader of a band that made trouble for us in Sasau. And he has something that belongs to me.
Ah, interesting. Interesting. description.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry. I had to ask.
I understand. And now I shall entrust you to the care of Uri here. And I shall look forward to the good tidings you bring me from Nebakov. Go with God, gentlemen.
Thank you for everything, sir.
There will be time enough yet for social niceties. Now there are more practical matters to deal with. Sir Otto has generously agreed to accommodate Lord Capon in one of his chambers. And you, Henry, shall also be accommodated. Station. There, your, equipment shall also be returned. Stable. Nevertheless, his lordship takes the view that, as a noble's escort, you should have a befitting mount. And therefore, he has kindly decided that you may take one. Gentlemen, follow me. So, Sir Hans, allow me to...
Hold on, Sir Ulrich. If you think everything is settled between us, and we're going to act like nothing happened, then you're mistaken.
Sir?
You were going to have me executed a short while ago. I expect a proper apology.
More, sir. But given the circumstances...
Given the circumstance? What circumstances?
Sir, poaching is a capital offence.
And are you the king? That you can hand down death sentences? You are not. What's more, you had plenty of reasons to realise it wasn't a good idea.
Sir, I could not have realised that.
You couldn't have realised? Yes! But Lord, and staged private executions!
Sir, once more I apologise. And now, please allow me to show you to your quarters.
I wouldn't dream of inconveniencing you. I'll find my quarters by myself. Henry. Fool. Get your horse, and we'll meet at the gate.
Well, it seems Lord Capon will not be requiring my services anymore today.
Don't be surprised. My rope round his neck.
I understand. I expect no one does. In any case, we'd have it a lot easier, your lord and I, if his behavior weren't so redolent of a bandit. Nevertheless, welcome to Trotsky, the finest and biggest has it that the castle was built on the jaws of hell, and that we're sometimes plagued by demons here. But don't believe a word of it. It's just idle talk to excuse the servants' laziness and incompetence. It's demanding keeping everything here running smoothly without any and talents. By the way, this place is a maze for strangers. It's very easy to get lost. The jail cells are down with that part of the castle, aren't you?
All too well, thanks.
You'll find a bed inside, opposite the door, and a chest where we put your belongings. You'll find some new clothing there. To ensure you're not mistaken for a beggar again. Once you're settled in and properly dressed, stop by the stables. They're beyond the gate, down the path. Ask for Kabat. He was supposed to prepare a horse and tack for you. Or tell him you'll keep your own if you insist. Then he'll give you...
Thanks. I'm grateful.
As you should be. So, you and I are finished, and I can finally attend to some proper work. So this castle...
Nice out today. Hope it'll last.